We'd like to begin our ceremony. Would everyone please stand for the presentation of our colors and remain standing while training coordinator Mark Shelton sings our national anthem.
Mark time, march. Detail, halt. Left, face. Carry, colors. Present, arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, arms. Detail, face. Correction. Carry, colors. Detail, face. Forward, march. Detail, face. Ready, step, post, colors. Ready, step, detail, face, forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vermont Department of Corrections Honor Guard. Please take your seats. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 129th Vermont Correctional Academy class graduation. I want to thank you all for coming and for showing your support for the graduates here today. I'd like to introduce our panel seated here next to me at this time. Immediately to my left is Facilities Operations Manager Gary Dillon and Superintendent Ed Adams from the Chittenden Regional Correctional Facility. Welcome and thank you for coming. The 129th Vermont Correctional Academy class is graduating here today after completing a comprehensive training program. The graduates began their training on October 13th, and over the last 5 weeks, they've received training from many knowledgeable instructors. This training has prepared them to return to their facilities and begin their careers as corrections professionals. But this training is just a foundation on which they will continue to learn. They will build the skills they need throughout their career with the Department of Corrections. At each academy, we have many knowledgeable instructors that commit to teaching our new recruits. I would like to take a few minutes and thank all the instructors who taught at the 129th Corrections Academy. Employees that commit themselves to becoming instructors for our department should be recognized for the additional efforts they put in. It takes many such committed instructors from around our department to come together for each training academy. Their time and their expertise is an important part in developing our newest corrections employees. So thank you for your work and your dedication for the Vermont Department of Corrections. I would also like to take time and recognize our training assistants who came to the 129th and spent an entire week helping to teach and to mentor. Training assistants are an important part of the Vermont Corrections Academy training program. Training assistants have to spend an entire week away from their facilities, away from their families, and their normal job duties, and they help to prepare our newest corrections employees. Each of the following training assistants at the 129th provided leadership and guidance to our new officers. They were instrumental in supporting the academy. Terrence Preventure from the Northern State Correctional Facility, Craig Holcomb from the Northwest State Correctional Facility, Chris McNamara from Barrie Probation and Parole, Sean McGuire from Marble Valley Regional Correctional Facility, and Michael Pelton from the Southeast State Correctional Facility. Thank you all for your hard work and for your professionalism. I would also like to take the time to thank the facility superintendents for making it possible for their employees to come to each academy as trainers and for sending training assistants to help develop our new officers. The 17 officers graduating here today have worked as a team, and they've successfully completed their 5 weeks of intense training. Over the course of the 5 weeks, they were challenged as individuals, and they were challenged to learn to work together as a team. The 129th came together very quickly. It was clear that they recognized the value of teamwork. Within the first week of the academy, we saw the 129th start to work as a unit and support each other as they worked toward their goals. Ultimately, each of the 129th graduating here today met their physical and mental challenges that were set out before them, and they should feel prepared to take the next step as they return to their facilities. I'd like to take a moment and thank the graduates of the 129th Corrections Academy. You have chosen to be part of the Vermont Department of Corrections. Working in corrections can be a challenge, but it can also be a rewarding career. The Vermont Department of Corrections is a great place to work. If you dedicate yourself to your job, if you act with integrity, and you commit yourself to getting better each day, you will have an opportunity to make a difference. You should all feel a sense of accomplishment upon graduating today. We're happy to have you be part of the Department of Corrections, so take pride in what you do as you start your careers. The Vermont Department of Corrections and the Corrections Academy values leadership, cooperation, and professionalism. In the spirit of recognizing outstanding performance, we would like to take time to announce our 129th Vermont Corrections Academy Award recipients. First, I would like to present our Academic Achievement Award. This award is earned by the individual that completes the Corrections Academy with the highest overall academic proficiency. As a class, the 129th did very well academically. There were several high academic achievers in the 129th. But the corrections officer who led the 129th in academic average and earned the class valedictorian award completed the academy with a 98.72 grade point average. The 129th class valedictorian is Ashley Bertrand from the Southern State Correctional Facility. Ms. Bertrand. Our next award is the Outstanding Leadership Award. The Leadership Award is earned by the person who best demonstrates superior leadership qualities, who provides outstanding service during their training by conducting themselves with a high level of professionalism, integrity, and hard work. During their academy, each of the 129th was placed in situations where they had to take on leadership roles and responsibilities. The 129th was asked to select their class member who best demonstrated these leadership qualities during their 5 weeks of this intense training. The class voted, and the 129th Outstanding Leadership Award is Jeffrey Lane from the Northern State Correctional Facility. As the 129th neared the end of their 5 weeks of training, they were working together as a team, and they supported each other as they trained. They learned that individuals can accomplish more when they function as part of a team. Part of the training experience is having people step out of these comfort zones and step into roles of responsibility and leadership as they practice their new skills. The class was asked to choose the one person who provided excellent service, leadership throughout their training, and who could best represent them and speak on their behalf. The 129th class speaker is Ashley Bertrand from the Chittenden Regional Correctional Facility. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Here's your speech.
Good morning, and thank you for attending the 129th Vermont Correctional Academy graduation ceremony. We greatly appreciate your presence and all of the support that you have given each and every one of us. We couldn't have done this without you. I am honored and humbled to be here with you all today and to have the opportunity to speak on behalf of my classmates. Before getting started, I would like to take a moment to thank Mr. Leibold, Mr. Rice, and all of our training assistants and instructors, as well as all of the Vermont Corrections Academy staff. Thank you all for supporting us and taking the time to teach and guide us through this process. Prior to arriving at the academy, each one of us spent 1 week, our shadow week, at our home facility. It was during that week that we saw officers interact with inmates, learned the attributes that one must possess to be called a correctional officer, and received a high-level overview of how the facility runs. It was also during this week that we learned about 2 weeks that we would soon encounter: Advanced Communications Techniques, also known as ACT Week, and Use of Force Week. Day one at the academy proved to be both mentally and physically challenging. Upon getting into the classroom, we were instructed to go outside and get into formation. Of course, it took us way too long to do so. Actually, I think it took us about 5 times to get it right, and at that point, I was still wearing my earrings. Needless to say, that made for a long week. Week 2 brought ACT Week. During ACT Week, we were asked to form into groups and choose 3 values that were important to us. After choosing those, we each again chose 3 values individually. As a class, the core values that we chose were duty, integrity, and personal courage. Duty, by definition, is a moral or legal obligation or responsibility. Integrity is defined as having strong moral principles and honesty. Lastly, personal courage is defined as having the ability to overcome a difficult situation with steadfastness, or more simply, just doing the right thing when there is no personal benefit. We firmly believe that all of these qualities make for a great correctional professional. Furthermore, we all believe that the entire class possesses all of these qualities. Week 3 brought a lot of PowerPoint presentations. For those of you who haven't noticed, we have a very young class with a median age only being about 25. So sitting still and staying awake simultaneously wasn't exactly one of our strong points. We finally started to figure it out and began to help each other through our weaknesses. Week 4 was use of force week, which was accompanied by bumps, bruises, and confidence. Thursday of week 4 brought oleoresin capsicum, also known as OC. Watching everyone help each other with the decontamination process was eye-opening. We really came together that day and were there when others needed us to be the most. Of course, being sprayed in the face with an oil derived from hot peppers wasn't fun, but knowing that you could do so and still function through it made it all worth it. We learned many lessons during our time at the Academy. I am confident that I speak for everyone when I say that the lessons that we learned will be carried with us throughout our careers. One of our most valuable lessons that we learned was centered around teamwork. It was amazing to see everyone support others in their areas of weakness. Teamwork is to corrections what a chalkboard is to a teacher and a hammer is to a carpenter. Teamwork makes tough situations easier to handle and is vital to maintaining a safe and secure environment. As a correctional professional, we set the standard for pro-social behaviors and interactions. We believe that people can change and should be consistently empowered to better themselves. We also share a passion for helping others and providing firm, fair, and consistent structure to aid in the rehabilitation process. Looking back and thinking about the first day that we came into the Academy seems like so long ago, when in fact it was really only 5 weeks ago. We have all grown so much personally as well as a team. It was a real challenge moving in with 17 strangers, but we really came together in the end. Many of us found inner motivation that we never even knew we had. We learned to respect each other's and to stay calm in the face of chaos. None of this would be attainable without the officers sitting to your left and to your right. To my brothers and sisters, stay strong, stay smart, stay diligent. Good luck in your new career, and congratulations to the 129th Correctional Academy class.
Thank you. We'll now present the 129th with their graduation certificates, which will be followed by the professional oath administered by Facilities Operations Manager Gary Dillon.
First row, attention. Right face.
Cody Baker. Travis Barowitz. Alex Beauregard. Ashley Bertrand. Rebecca Bertrand. Nicholas Bogovich. Jeffrey Eslinger. Ryan Folgrate.
Second row, unchanged.
Caitlin King.
Class, ready, face.
Jeffrey Lane. Joshua LaSalle. Lindsay McKibben. Robert McQueen. Jamie Sinclair. Tyler Tavares. Brooke Vallone. Dan Ryan. Mr. Dillon?
Second row, left, face.
I'm not sure what happened to our lights there. There you go.
I hope that's not an indicator. Hey, the upside is the ceiling didn't fall.
Take seats.
Oh,
Ryan.
Class, okay.
I'm kidding. Look at that. All right, if you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Acknowledge this oath in the badge of my profession.
Acknowledge this oath in the badge of my profession.
As symbols of the public trust in my ability and commitment.
As symbols of the public trust in my ability and commitment.
To provide for the public safety as a professional correctional officer.
To provide for the public safety as a professional correctional officer.
I agree to maintain the highest ethical standards.
I agree to maintain the highest ethical standards.
And serve the Vermont Department of Corrections to the best of my ability.
And serve the Vermont Department of Corrections to the best of my ability.
I freely accept this responsibility.
I freely accept this responsibility.
And swear to uphold the humanitarian and legal principles.
And swear to uphold humanitarian and legal principles.
Of the corrections profession throughout my career.
Of the corrections profession throughout my career.
Congratulations, correctional officers. Welcome to the Department of Corrections and the family. And I'd be happy to meet with any of you afterwards for snacks and juice.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. At this time, I'd like to introduce this morning's speaker, Superintendent Ed Adams, who's the superintendent at the Chittenden Regional Correctional Facility. All right, Ed, here's your thing.
Class, take seats.
I have the enviable position to be all that remains between you and a plate full of cookies and graduation. So I'll try to be concise, if my iPad will let me. First off, let me congratulate the 129th Academy myself. Thank you for all the hard work that you've put into this event and getting to where you are. Thank you to all my fellow correctional officers that have come here to share in this event and to participate in all the hard work that they've done. The topic that I've decided to talk about today is family, and I'm really encouraged at the fact that it sounds like there was some themes of that in your class speakers talk about you being brothers and sisters to each other. So since I have the opportunity of having all of your closest family and friends here, I thought that's what I would focus on. The last 5 weeks, we all know that you've trained hard. You've put a lot of work into getting to where you are. Some of your accomplishments have been individuals. Most of them have been as a team. In your own way, the 17 of you have become your own little family. And as I remember, and maybe many of us remember, your graduating class that you're with always has a little bit of that family connection. So you're already getting a taste of what lies ahead of you. Now that you're officially correctional officers, you're about to enter into a much larger family. You're going beyond the 17 that you have graduated with, and you are joining literally hundreds of correctional professionals around this state that make up your new family. You're going to find that the family that you're used to that surrounds you right now and has been with you your entire life, well, your correctional family is very similar to that. You're going to find a lot of different people and a lot of different styles. You're going to find people that you like to hang out with. You're going to find people that you don't hang out with enough. And you'll probably run into a few that you wish you didn't have to hang out with at all. There's a few of us that like to tell stories. They're long stories. They're the same story. And they don't really remember if they've ever told you that story before. So anticipate hearing some stories quite often. You got two choices. You can make yourself look busy, or you can just nod a lot. Those are your two strategies. There's several people that work in the corrections department that are getting up there in years. I'm not one of them. But they've forgotten more than most of us in this room will ever know. If you get an opportunity to hang out with those people, you've got to grab it. Hopefully you listen to their advice along the way. But like a family that gives you wisdom, the choice is yours. If you're lucky, someone's going to take you under their wing, and you'll have a mentor, someone that's really taken an interest in you and wants to see you succeed. If you're really lucky, that person's going to say to you at one time or another, I wouldn't do that if I were you. You might want to listen to that when that happens, but the choice is yours. Some of the people in corrections are going to be your closest friends. Some you'll rarely talk to, and that's very similar to how a real family operates. Your corrections family is not much different than your real family. But most of all, those of us in the corrections, in the career of corrections, become a family every day because we depend on each other. We depend on each other for the little things. We depend on each other on the big things. But that's what brings us close. We share experiences in this profession that no one in the world will understand. You share a unique perspective on something that only your corrections brothers and sisters will ever be able to really appreciate. The people in your corrections family come from every walk of life. What brings us together is that common mission, some of which has already been discussed prior to me. I'm proud to be in the corrections profession because we serve a vital role in protecting the state. The citizens of Vermont depend on us for safety and security and giving them peace of mind. We create new opportunities for people. We have a positive influence in the people around us, not only officers, but the inmates and offenders that we serve in this community. No matter what's going on in our corrections family, I know that we're going to get through it, even if the roof did fall down. There's a confidence that comes with being in a corrections family that just says to yourself, we will get through this. And every day we do. Common questions asked to me in the community is, do you feel scared in a correctional facility? And my answer to them is, no. I actually feel more at ease at a correctional facility than I do in my own house. And the reason is because when I'm at my home, it's me versus the world. But when I'm in a correctional facility, I'm talking any correctional facility in this state, there's a peace of mind knowing that no matter what is going on or what could happen, I've got 8 or 10 or 12 of my closest friends that are always going to make sure that I get home at night. And they in part know that there's 8 or 10 that are going to get them home at night. And you have that same connection with us. That's a powerful feeling. It's something that only comes with being part of a family. You now have the responsibility to your corrections family to become true professionals. You have the responsibility to your corrections family to learn all you can and to master this craft to the best of your ability. And you have the responsibility to teach and mentor those that come after you. Besides talking about your corrections family, I wanted to take a moment to address your real families. So now I'm not really concerned about you. We're going to just forget you're here for a minute. I'm just going to focus on them. I first want to say thank you for sharing these officers with us. This department could not go on if it wasn't for your already made sacrifice. It's been a long 5 weeks. I know you miss every one of these guys, and you have a lot to be proud of, and you should be proud. This isn't easy what they've done. The fact of the matter is you're going to be a big factor in their success. It's not a routine 9-to-5 job that they're picking up here. Maybe you've already figured that out. This is a rewarding career, but it is a demanding one. Loving someone who is a corrections professional brings with it sacrifice. I stand before you today, able to even be at this podium because I have a wife and a son who have been supportive to me from the first day in my corrections career. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today. These new officers that are sitting here in the front rows, they're going to need your support and understanding too. I truly believe that families of correctional officers are really the unsung heroes of this department. The job's 24/7, it's 365 days a year. We don't close, we don't slow down. Most, if not every one of the corrections officers in this room right now have missed a Christmas morning, a ball game, a school event. Families have moved their entire Thanksgiving meals just to make sure that their correctional officer doesn't miss out. The sacrifices, small and large, that you're going to have to make are significant. There's hundreds of correctional officers, but there's thousands of family and friends of correctional officers, and you're now a member of that group. Corrections is not an easy career by any stretch, but it's a rewarding one. Your loved ones are about to start a career that'll put them in positions to help people and keep the state of Vermont safe. They got great growth opportunities. Most of the staff that have traveled here today from as many as 7 different facilities started in exactly those chairs. There's a good chance, based on the number of them, that there's a few future leaders in this group. Maybe a few supervisors, probably a few probation officers, maybe a couple superintendents, or even a commissioner. What's going to decide that for certain is that they're committed to being corrections professionals and that they have the support and encouragement from those closest to them, and that's going to be you guys. Combination of these two factors is going to create some exciting possibilities. So on behalf of Vermont DOC staff that are here and not, I want to welcome you guys to this family. We're proud of you and we look forward to working with you for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Adams. Before we begin our class recessional, I would like to again thank you all for coming and welcome you to stay after the conclusion of our ceremony for snacks and drinks in the lobby. They were provided by Superintendent Patanis in the Southern State Correctional Facility. In closing, I would again like to congratulate the 129th, wish you all the best in your careers, and welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, if everyone can please stand, we'll begin the class recession.
Mark time. Mark. Detail. Halt. Detail. Pace. Ready. Step. Retreat. Colors. Ready. Step. Detail. Pace. Detail. Forward. March.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 129th Vermont Correctional Academy class.